All right, let's get started. Again, I have Golden Prana Priestess. Just again, tell us a little bit about you, what you do, and of course, we're going to go into the rabbit hole of how you got here.
What I do? Um, I'm a Reiki master teacher. I do Usui um, Tibetan Reiki. I do a little bit of Sikkim. I'm not a master in Sikkim, but I'm also a Karuna master, which is a higher frequency that comes to you only after you have done the Usui Tibetan or some other groundwork in Reiki.
Okay.
With that said, I use an eclectic uh, group of things to help me with that. Um, I was born and raised on a farm in Pennsylvania. Um, my parents really did not. No, they didn't believe in anything like this. As a 5-year-old, I was gathering weeds, which actually I know now are herbs, and I was pretending and grinding and making medicine with that. So that is the hints that I eventually grabbed onto and ran with through my life. Um, I always had the interest in the herbs, but I wound up working on a Mormon farm that I did not know was a Mormon farm. And
Wow.
then suddenly one day somebody said, "Why are you here? You're not a Mormon." I said, "What? What are you talking about? Mormon? Huh?" I didn't know. And then it was explained to me. And I said, "Well, I don't know." I just applied for the job, and I kind of wondered why everybody was some type of way. They were just all very kind, a lot
Mm.
of love in everything that they did. So I wasn't much on organized religion, but I looked at what they did. I had already been attuned to Reiki, um, but their men have two different priesthoods: the Melchizedek and the Aaronic priesthood. Aronic. I'm probably messing up that pronunciation.
Okay.
The Melchizedek priests do a thing that is very similar to Reiki. They call it blessings, and the women hope to have a husband as a that is a Melchizedek priest because he is blessed with giving blessings, which is very much like Reiki. He'll take the sick child and put his hands on that sick child, and he can make things better. He just channels energy from the universe.
Wow.
Um, and Reiki is not frowned on in that religion.
Mm.
Uh, a lot of them, it is. A lot of them think you're the devil. That I must really be the devil because I do Reiki and I have a bazillion crystals. So
It's crazy that, someone would be a healer and you can I mean, we hear it all the time, but it's just crazy to me that someone can be doing something so beautiful as healing and people will take it as, "Oh, you got to be the devil. You got to be worshiping the devil."
they don't bother to step back and see the love in it and see
Right.
who that person is.
Right.
Um, they just judge. So I did go through a lot of judgment.
Mm,
But there was just something inside that just said, keep going, keep going. There's something more for you.
right.
So my way of life is all herbs and Reiki and anything spiritual. I can't imagine going back to the other way of life.
Right.
Yes, I have a job as a nurse, which more and more I'm pushing away from.
Mm,
And hopefully within the next year, it'll be all spiritual stuff that I'm doing.
right.
That's my goal.
I see a lot of us healers are probably at some point in their lives in some type of medical field,
Hmm.
connected to the medical field at some point, but a lot of
Hmm.
us have ventured off into, just getting more into the healing aspect, the herbs
Hmm.
and things like that.
You know, the interesting thing, they started to try to incorporate that into hospitals.
Mhm.
Um, they were some of them were attuning their nurses or aides or whoever wanted to, doctors,
Right.
to Reiki, and incorporating that in their everyday rehab.
Mhm.
And some of them would have a Reiki healer stand in on a surgery. that sort of thing.
Mhm.
But there is just that disconnect between like a big pharma kind of thing
Right,
and the spiritual side of things that really prevented that from growing and meshing together.
right, right.
I mean, just like I have a roommate who has Lyme's disease, like really bad. She's got a huge load of it and has been disabled for 3 years because of it. She's using a naturopathic doctor who also is a doctor, a conventional
Mhm.
doctor, because why? He can't really claim that she has Lyme's disease. He can't really claim using alternative therapies on her. It's just like the Dr. Sebi thing with cancer. It's
Right.
illegal to try to heal somebody with herbs.
Wow. I didn't know
How
it was
messed up is
illegal.
that?
I didn't know it was
In some
illegal.
areas it is, and he has to be. Her doctor has to be very careful what he does and how he writes it down.
That's sad that, like, someone would be like, "It's illegal to cure a disease," right, with
Hmm.
something so natural that we know herbs are here created by our creator to assist us on this path, yet it's illegal. Like, really? Like, that shit is like,
Yeah.
really?
You know what a crystal master said to me one time when I was taking a class from him? The first thing he said was probably the most profound thing. He said, "Well, actually, this world is so messed up that they don't realize that the universe, God, Jehovah, whoever, put everything here that you need to take care of yourself.
Yep,
Everything,
yep,
everything you need to heal is right
yep,
here."
yep, yep. I believe it.
Really made
I
me
believe
think.
it. I believe it. You know, my, working damn near 11 years in the medical field, and by the end of it, I was like, we definitely are only treating symptoms. We are only
Yeah.
Western medicine is only treating symptoms. It is not getting to the root cause of anything, and
Hmm.
it's not meant to. All it is management, disease management. That's exactly what it is. We will manage what you have. We don't give a fuck how it got here or why. We're
Hmm.
just going to keep doing this and give you more pills. And then
Yeah.
on top of that pill brings another pill, brings another pill, brings another pill, right?
Yes, and the side effects from those pills because your body is definitely affected from all those chemicals you take in.
Right, right. And I worked with geriatrics for the pretty much
Hmm.
the whole time of where I think the first year I was in a like a primary care kind of where everyone, all ages were seen. And then by the next year I went to geriatrics. And then from there on, it was just geriatrics. And so you would just see so many people on fucking 10, 11 different fucking
Yep.
medications. And it was just like, why? You know what I mean? And then let the pharmaceutical companies let them change. You know how they change the brands, and then
Yeah.
people with these reactions. Someone is going to the hospital because of the fucking reaction, because of the new pill, and this, that, and the third. And over time, you just start to question. I've always been someone who's questioning everything, right? So
Hmm.
you start
Yep.
to question and say, who are we really helping? Like, who are we really helping in all of this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's sad.
We're helping somebody's pockets.
We are. And the more I love, people, we don't want to say the C word too loud, but people
Yep.
talk about it and it's very like, controversial, but it was a game changer for society. It was
Oh my
a
God.
game changer.
It was another big nudge in my life for me. I spent 2 years out traveling on the Big Sea Trail,
Mm,
and yeah, the changes in me and the things I saw and the conclusions I've come to are a whole nother podcast.
right.
I'll just put it that way.
Right, right. And we won't go too far into it,
No.
but it is, and I tell people all the time that was a game changer, and I do love because I have seen some hospitals are and there's some VAs that have Reiki specialists there, and
Hmm.
it would be beautiful for people to keep opening their fucking minds instead of being so close minded to the natural abilities that we all have inside of us to fucking heal and grow
Hmm.
and work together to become better. Like, what would it really cost this fucking country if we didn't have pharma, like big pharma? Like, besides the
Yeah.
rich fucking people who own it. Like, come on now,
Yes.
But anywho,
If
let's get back to your
if we
story.
could just go from starting in the schools to teaching it and teaching,
Right.
herbal and eating right, proper nutrition.
Right.
Yeah,
It
can make
pisses
a
me
big
off.
difference.
It pisses me off because you look at other countries and how other countries, even their school
Mhm.
system, and their school systems are so different. The kids actually learn how to either grow food, they learn how to clean
Mhm.
up their own shit in the school. There's no janitors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The kids are doing the
Yeah.
shit. The kids are cooking. The kids are fucking feeding each other. And the kids are learning like real life shit. And they're
And they're
also
into it.
yeah, they're also eating healthier. Why the fuck are
Mhm.
we not doing it here in the USA? Like, what the fuck is the problem here?
I don't know. How did this trend get started here?
I
I don't
think
know.
the fucking fucked up founders that came over, the greedy ass founders. That, look, no one wants to say it. The fucking greedy ass founders. They brought
Yeah.
their ass over here. They didn't give a shit about anybody else. They just came over here to take, 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 and then boom, they found a place to manipulate the new
They
world.
networked and it spread, you know? They were like the root system.
Yeah, let's
Yeah. That's a whole nother podcast.
whole nother podcast. So let's get back to your life. So
Yeah.
you meet this amazing Reiki master who you said it was he does all kind of different levels of healing. What happens next?
Um, well, mind you, I had left an abusive marriage.
Hmm.
Um, I was a teenager when this guy started after me, and he was 35.
Ooh,
And yeah, and he had no shame in his game. Boy, he just did what he did, and somehow he was able to manipulate and get away from it. Away with it. He was a master manipulator.
mm,
Um, I tried to take my life in the first 30 days. Things had turned from the day we were married. It changed. And I was like, oh my God, what have I done? I lost my family support. I lost everything.
right, right.
Uh, and I wound up stuck in it. I was ready to leave because I knew I couldn't just walk out and leave. It wasn't, he wasn't that kind of guy. No. And that proved itself through the time. But 2 years in, I was ready to walk out, had my plan, had everything set. Yeah, I'm going to do this, go here, protect
Mm,
myself this way, and found I was pregnant.
mm,
So it was like, because I grew up with two parents. Well, boy, it's going to be hard. How am I going to do that? I didn't have a lot of confidence in myself because he had stripped all that away.
right, right.
And then the idea of a child should have two parents, and I stayed. So I was
Mm,
in that for like 22 years. Tried to run and leave, and he would go to where I was, kick the door down, and they would just part and say, "There she is."